So last year, my depression was awful. It really came out of nowhere. I was to the point where I was feeling hopeless, struggling with feelings of helplessness. It got to the point where it was so bad, I started looking at buildings to see which were the tallest ones that I could actually jump and it would work, because I've seen so many people with unsuccessful suicides that I was determined to make sure that mine was going to be completed. I don't know what else to do. I was already going to therapy. I was already getting massages. I was already practicing relaxation techniques. I was already doing everything that they would expect the ideal patient to do. And I just felt like every single day I was getting worse. You know, it was so bizarre to be a licensed clinical therapist, to be someone who works in the field of mental health, and to feel so awful that I was actually depressed that something wouldn't kill me, instead of being able to find hope in other things.
Ketamine is an anesthetic drug that was developed in the 1950s, first used in humans in around the 60s or the 70s. And in the last 8 or 10 years, it was discovered to be quite effective against treating treatment-resistant depression by blocking a cell receptor called the NMDA receptor. It lasts about 45 minutes, and during that 45 minutes, the patient will have a dissociative type of experience. It's kind of like a dreamy state they go into, dreamy, kind of relaxing, calming type of a state. And that lasts for the entire length of the infusion. Once the infusion's over, that will diminish within minutes. Probably within 10 minutes, those dissociative type feelings will diminish. And then the patient recovers in the room for another 10 or 20 minutes, and then they're free to go home. They have to have a ride home. We don't let patients drive home, or they have to have somebody take them home. But most patients are only maybe tired for another couple of hours, a little bit of fatigue, and then after that, they're back to their normal selves. Our results have been, frankly, quite amazing. I would say we've at least had 80% success rate in relieving treatment-resistant depression. We've treated many patients now, and the results have been remarkable. Patients typically have felt relief after as early as the first infusion, but sometimes it takes 2 or 3. We hope that ketamine gets FDA approved for the treatment of depression, as does the American Board of Psychiatry. There are other drugs that are ketamine type analogs that are being developed also, that are in clinical trials at this point. So our hope that it is made available to the public, because it definitely is a very effective treatment with a safe drug that's been around for many years.
So when I was initially told about ketamine, I was told, I was told the cost. It was $3,000 for the first 6 infusions. And first, at that point, I was like, oh, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to spend that type of money. And then I was talking to my therapist, and we were exploring things. And she was like, you're at the point where, you're thinking about not living anymore. If you were about to get a heart attack and it cost you $3,000 to bring you back to life, would you spend it? And I said, yeah, of course. And that's when I realized that even if I had to slap it on a credit card, I was willing to do that, because, depression can be a life-threatening illness, and that's what I had. Even though ketamine is FDA approved for anesthesia, it's not FDA approved for depression. So I put it on a credit card, and once I saw the results and how much better I got, I have no problem in the world. I don't care if I have to sacrifice a vacation or sacrifice going out or whatever I have to do. I'm not going to suffer when I know that there's an option. So I've paid $525 for my boosters, and I've had 3 of those. So total, I've spent about $4,500 on ketamine, and it's the best money that I've ever spent on anything.